anything. We'll leave it very broad. I have a list. I've had a running list. I don't know how long's the last time I've updated of my top shows. There's like 37 on here, ranked.
What did we do before? Was it top comedies?
It was like sitcoms.
Sitcom, I think it was, yeah.
Have anyone have anything to say before we start?
I hate all Dan shows.
I just quick went through a list to make sure I wasn't forgetting any. Two I forgot about, and I got to find a way of working them in.
I don't know what I'm going to do for my hate for this. I don't know if there's a...
Ooh, hate.
There's one that I really, really hate.
Ooh, hate.
No, I know there's one I really, really hate. I just can't think of what it is. There's got to be a show I've shit on for many, many times.
Oh, I know one. I got one.
I do too.
For what, hate?
For what you hate.
Well, it's not about this.
Myself.
What?
I said I have one.
It's not about what do I hate?
SpongeBob.
That's a cartoon. I specifically told you the rules, Steve, before the show.
I'm the one that came up with the
TV
idea.
shows, not anime.
All blocks of life.
I just said that he could pick an animated show.
Anime is not a TV show. It's a cartoon.
It's on TV.
Yeah.
We would have a category of top 5 cartoons, which I would say I'm showing up for that. And then because I don't like any cartoons, I wouldn't participate in the show, and I would just sit here and not say anything.
You just come and just sit
Yup, because I would show my distaste for cartoons in general.
That's petty as fuck.
I would only comment on the ones I hate, and my list would be a top 5 of all the ones I hate.
I don't want to spoil anything, but I feel like some of the more popular shows on TV are animated.
It's headed that way, man.
Like if there was 10 programs that are on TV right now, I'd say like at least 3 or 4 are probably animated, the most popular.
I don't think so, pal.
What's like a popular live action show that's running right now, not streaming, just on network TV?
You tell me what. Okay, no, there's plenty of those. You tell me what cartoon is running right now. That's a top cartoon on TV.
I feel like Rick and Morty's like one of the most
It
popular
is not.
shows.
It probably doesn't even rank in. It probably doesn't even rank in the
point.
top 30.
I guarantee it does, and I would say like Family Guy or like The Simpsons.
Do you review weekly TV ratings?
No.
I do. I do.
What's the number one show then?
What are you talking about, on cable?
Yeah.
Right now, the number one show is Monday Night Football.
Okay.
That's how it
That's
ranks.
not a show.
That's how it ranks.
Okay.
Want to know the number one TV show on cable right now?
Yes.
Monday Night Raw. It's the number one TV show on cable right now.
I suppose I'll accept that. It's more of like a sporting event to me.
Then like shows like Rick and Morty. Hang on. I'll give you. But that's cable. It's ranked differently.
This is all opinion, Dan.
Okay, but I wanted to know the show.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now the top TV shows.
Okay, good.
Hang on.
I think we're supposed to do one at a time, Dan. And then go around the table. Hello?
I'm looking up the ratings for Mike.
For Mike.
Or for Niko.
Niko, let's go. Pink.
Only have a red and a yellow. Neither?
I'll take a red.
Pink's my least favorite.
If there was pink in there, I would have been doing that.
I don't like the pink one.
That's absurd.
It's all shows
That's
you're
it.
not
Top
gonna
5
like.
Starburst.
Dan, what's your number 5?
Are we talking about TV ratings or number 5?
TV
number
show.
5.
Let's go, pal.
We're not talking about ratings anymore?
No.
It took too long. It's moved on.
My number 5.
Set.
What?
I'm clearing my garbage off the set.
I'll wait for Niko to get back.
No, you can say it.
So my number 5.
No, I'm gone too. I'm gonna eat some chips. I took my food off the set because I didn't think we were all eating, and then otherwise I would have kept eating.
Okay, what's your number 5?
My number 5 would have to be Modern Family.
Okay.
Comedy. I think I ranked it high on my top comedies on this show before.
Is that show even still running?
No, it ended like 2 years ago. It's just a
How many
completely
seasons?
different style. What?
How many seasons?
11?
That's pretty successful.
On ABC. It had a good run. It has a lot of stars like Sofia Vergara.
Okay.
You can say her name right.
Said it relatively right.
Ed O'Neill.
That's
Ty
good.
Burrell. There's a lot of...
Oh, you're just playing you're dropping your stick now.
What do you mean?
I'm saying people's names stupid on purpose.
I never do it on purpose. But it has a lot of good. It has a lot of good people in it. it morphed over the years. At the beginning, I think at the beginning of the series, a lot of it was based off like the kids on the show, which were hilarious. The kids grew up, and they kind of became not funny anymore, so they had to add some more younger kids into it. It's just overall, it's a very good show. The camera angles are different, the way they interview the people throughout the show, the point of view perspective of the show.
So it's a mix of a soap opera and a reality show.
No.
Well, camera style.
Do you know the show?
I know of it. It's got kind of a soap opera camera style.
It does. It kind of it kind of has a little bit of a reality show, a little bit, not soap opera.
That too.
They'll see what happened, and they'll do an interview where the two people will be sitting in the chair, and we go, we had to go do this, and then they go back, and it's a whole different.
I don't know soap opera. So
it's not soap opera. I would say it kind of has like a reality.
Is it a sitcom?
Let me put it this way. I don't know what the terminology called. It's like someone is filming the family, and they sit down, and it's like they're doing a biography of the family.
So is the cameraman someone they interact with?
No, not at all. But then they don't. But then after a scene,
so it's every show has to be taped. What are you talking
about? But like
they
do like you would not watch.
I really
it
can't do it right now. I can't tell if he's joking.
Like
I've seen an episode or
like
two.
They do like the scenes, and then it'll be like the mom and the dad like sitting on a couch, like talking about. Like,
but I don't know. I know what it is, but I don't know what Dan's trying to say right now.
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know the name of it. That type of filming. But it's
like a reality show, but it's like a scripted reality show.
Okay.
It's like a camera crew is following this family for 11 years. Is what it is. And they follow them everywhere. Then they sit down. And they do an interview.
I don't think
about a scene that just happened. They don't
like acknowledge the camera in the scenes.
It's kind of like how
they do. Yes, they do.
But like I guess like kind of like The Office.
Like the something happens, they'll turn the camera and go. Like they acknowledge the camera's there.
Yeah, but like I guess they don't.
So I don't know what that type of filming's called. Perspective TV. I don't know what it's called. But nonetheless, it's my favorite comedy show. I rank it over Seinfeld. I rank it over a lot of the other Big Bang Theory. Those are my 3 favorite comedies. So Modern Family makes the list. Moving on.
You know what?
I'm gonna tear all your shows apart. You guys all eating your little goddamn candy and your little snacks, and I started playing off.
I was laughing at Big Bang
Mike's playing
Theory.
dumb over here.
I was very confused at what you meant.
That's fine.
Modern Family was like number 10 on my list.
Moving on.
I was laughing at Big Bang Theory.
It's a great show.
He scoffed at Big Bang Theory.
Also, friend of the program, Luke, there was a joke made about someone. We were watching like a football game, and one of our other friends, like the Young Sheldon commercial came on. Like, Luke, it's you.
Did he like that?
No.
All right, well, number 5, I had American Horror Story. It's gotten a lot drier over the years, but it was very wet. And I think it's like one of the few I still catch up with. So
Didn't we have like a big discussion on it behind the counter about American Horror Story?
Probably.
We've talked about it a few times.
It's produced a lot of stars. Good old Evan Peters, now in Jeffrey Dahmer. I haven't got to use that GIF yet.
Don't know that you're going to. Maybe this week.
Maybe soon. But yeah, that's the one I had for number 5. It's pretty wet.
My number 5 is good old fashioned Yu-Gi-Oh.
I can't do this.
It's a show. It was on TV. You get up at 8 in the morning every Saturday. CW for kids with a bowl of cereal, watching some good old Yu-Gi-Oh.
What? That's accepted. That's a legal pick.
So if it's your favorite, if it's number 5, that means you've seen like every episode of it, right?
Most of every episode, yeah.
That's pretty intense love of Yu-Gi-Oh.
I was more towards the third generation of it with the motorcycles and stuff, and that was
that I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if I got there.
The motorcycles, I don't know.
pretty
It's
good
good
cartoons
stuff.
on
Good
motorcycles.
stuff.
Okay.
All right, what about you, Niko?
My number 5 is Lost. It was my first favorite show that I like
Pretty wet
binged
show,
in.
actually.
Like that was probably the first show I ever watched, like that got me into like how I watch TV now, where you just like binge shows and just watch, like you're just so invested in it. Just a great cast of characters. Gets a little wonky, I guess, later on, but
Ending was whack.
still pretty good show all around. Like it's, even though it was like weird and not like what you would probably want or expect, it's still like interesting. You're still invested in it.
It was a very good show. Classic JJ.
Yeah, it's a lot of twists and turns, a lot of good characters in there. My number 4 is Community. I only have 2 comedy shows on here. It's like, what is it? Stan Harmon, right? It's like the Rick and Morty guy before Rick and Morty is his first show that he did, live action. Great cast in that.
Wasn't that the one with Chevy Chase?
Yeah, Chevy Chase, Joel McHale, Donald Glover, Allison Brie. It's got a great cast, Ken Jeong. And, like, it really makes no sense, like, at all. It's, like, a similar, like, episode style to Rick and Morty. Like, it's just so weird, like, everything that happens. I think
I've heard good things about
I think it's relatively popular. I don't know. It's not like on the level of like Parks and Rec or like The Office type stuff, but I think it's better. Gets
better than them. Huh?
It gets real wonky at the end. Some of the characters like leave and things like that. It gets kind of weird. But they did just announce they're coming out with a movie. They always teased at 6 seasons in a movie throughout like all the episodes, and finally doing it.
That's good. Yep, number 4, Steve.
My good old number 4. You're asleep. It's 2 a.m. You left your TV on because you fell asleep. Then, in a cold sweat, you wake up. George Lopez.
That's what I was thinking. Do you not like that? I feel like that's something you would like. I always
There is
wanted
pictures
to...
of Dan on his Facebook of Photoshop George Lopez.
No, that was a Johnny thing from years ago. And he knows I can't stand George Lopez.
That was a phase with Dan. He loved
the guy has a huge head and he's annoying.
So why did he Photoshop your head?
I used to want to do that in the trampoline, like the intro to George Lopez. This is classic.
By the way, for the record, that show's not on TV anymore at all.
Yeah, I know. Reruns.
Not even reruns.
Yeah, they are.
What channel?
Channel 4.
Which is what?
TBS.
My TV?
TBS.
TBS shows George Lopez?
Occasionally.
I don't know if I buy that one. I'll have to do some research.
Why was it not? Why did it get taken off?
It was just a horrible show. Not only that, I don't even think it's
wasn't even a horrible show.
I don't even think it's in...
What's wrong with it? What don't you like about it?
It's a dumb show. I don't even think it's in syndication at all.
Something I need to
let's see here.
It's not even...
Let's make it quick.
It lasted 5 years.
Exactly. Anything under 6 years is a horrible show.
120 episodes.
I think 6 seasons is supposed to be like the sweet spot of a show.
It had 6 seasons. It is...
You guys got a Saquon jersey on him.
Yep. The series joined TBS September 28th, 2020. So it is...
TBS?
Yeah.
Or PBS?
TBS.
Oh, I think it's PBS. TBS is Channel 5, Steve.
I don't fucking watch regular
Holy
TV
moly.
most of the time.
Yeah,
You're giving us wrong. PBS is literally Channel 4.
No, PBS is Channel 11.
My 4 is Channel 4.
Yeah.
I heard him say TBS.
Oh, see, I thought I heard him say PBS.
No.
Kind of concerned if it was on PBS.
I would say that it's definitely like a nostalgic show for me, but I wouldn't have picked that. I mean, it's well, you guys don't have to like mine, but there's other shows in that era that I would say I like better.
I just
Definitely
I don't like George Lopez in general.
Okay. I like him.
Hang on, while we're waiting for Mike.
I would say those shows are just kind of like, they're like a lot of them blend together for me, like that era of show.
Yeah, it's got that like weird orangish tint.
Yeah, it kind of freaks me out. Like Home Improvement.
Home Improvement was great.
My Wife and Kids, stuff like that.
Well, it's because those were all on Nick at Night together.
Yeah, those just all like blend together. The Nanny. Those are
gross.
like,
Fucking hate that show.
I just feel like those are always just on. Whenever I'd watch TV, like they would just come on back to back to back.
I'm trying to... Oh, he's back. I'm trying to find the TV ratings for this week.
That new disc drawer is so
good.
Why? Just easily picking through? You have to lug an 80-pound drawer out.
It's still a heavy drawer, but it's nice and buttery smooth.
Oh no, I thought of another one.
The Nintendo drawer itself broke, so I had to like pull it out.
Oh God.
Alright, Mike, it's to you.
And number 4,
Yep.
Spartacus, Blood and Sand. Have any of you ever seen that show?
No.
No, I can't really talk much about it, but it
Why?
was very wet.
Why can't you talk about it?
What do you want me to say if you guys can't
Explain
argue
the
about
show.
Is it live
it?
action?
It's
or
about
animated?
people that are. It's live action. About Spartacus and the gladiator. He was a gladiator, a slave that was captured, and then he had to fight his way to freedom, and it was pretty
Like, is it
fucking
like a long
badass.
show or just like one season?
It was 3 seasons. The first season it sucked because the guy was wicked good, and then he got leukemia and died between them. So then season 2 they did a prequel, and then season 3 they recast him for someone
How
else.
long ago did it come out?
It was quite a bit ago now, like probably like 10 years. But it was on, I think, Stars or something like that.
One of those weird channels.
Yeah.
You pay for the package to watch Stars.
But that was one that I liked a lot. Me and my friends all watched it. Very wet. I forget the name of the guy, but...
So my 4th one is on USA Network, Suits. You ever seen that show? Anyone know what it is?
I
or
know what
not?
it is because I
I've
know
heard
you
of it.
like it.
I like it. It's
You
a
used
good
to watch
show.
other USA shows.
It's about just a law firm, but it has some comedy, but it's more drama. But it was on for it was on for 9 seasons on
Okay.
USA Network. What?
Kind of like most USA Network shows.
It had a good run. But it was just
Is that a shot, Steve?
It was awful. No, it was a good show. I liked it personally, and it had a lot of drama and it had a lot of action, and even for a lawyer show, so I enjoyed it. But that's my number 4. My number 3, kind of a controversial pick a little bit. It may draw some interesting.
Actually, I
reaction.
have a question before you go on.
What?
Do you watch Succession? It seems like it's like a you show.
I'm like in the middle of it.
Okay.
I've
never
watched
seen
it. I watched season 1
I
and
just
2.
think it's
I do like it, but I haven't taken the time to watch seasons.
I just know
3 or
that people
4, I
say
think.
that's like a top show on TV right now, and that just seems like a you show.
Oh, it's definitely a me show. It's right up my alley, but I haven't taken the time to sit down and continue watching it. I got it. It's on my list of shows to watch. It's a Tom show.
Yeah, but I think he asked me if I was watching it at some point.
My number 3 show, classic show, House of Cards, on Netflix.
Whoa!
It's a controversial pick.
Kyle Larson, House of Cards. Quite the enigma on this.
Say
show.
what you want about Kevin Spacey. He's a great actor in the show. He plays.
Have you seen the videos that he put on YouTube?
They were pretty creepy.
He's creepy. Don't get me wrong. No. I'm not saying the person Kevin Spacey. I'm just saying him as an actor on the show.
Okay.
Playing Frank Underwood is I think is a great character on the show.
Lots of people did love the show.
Yeah,
The
well,
show is
after
great.
that,
However, he's not my favorite on the show. My favorite is good old Claire Underwood. By far my favorite on the show.
Kill him off
Gross.
or something? What
They
happened?
killed him off. In true fact, I don't know why.
Well, you know why.
I know why. But I
don't know why.
it sucks for the show. No, it sucks for the show because they knew it was the last season already, and then everything happened, and they fired him from the show, and then they rewrote the entire. I think they did
Just
6
like
seasons.
recast it. Just find like a lookalike.
They could. Frank, they could.
Or CGI him.
It just. I mean, I think they could have found it. They basically, at the time when all this was going on, the show decided to basically shit on him by killing him. And they basically made fun of him in the show for killing him. It's just like, I think they could have done a better way of writing him off, but I think it was more to prove a point.
How did he
It's
die
like,
in the show?
what?
How was he get killed in the show? Does he just die? Someone
Spoiler
just
alert.
murder him?
How did he die, Dan?
I think it was from supposedly natural causes. Then it kind of deemed that someone actually did it. And they kind of try to turn into like a mystery in the show. I think, yeah, a very small. They didn't want the season to be about him at all. But it's great backstabbing and cutthroat action all the way around. It's about politics, about not real politics, fake politics.
Yeah.
And And basically, Frank Underwood, just to kind of give it up, the first season, he's in line to become Speaker of the House, and the president-elect decides to kick him to the curb, and they bring someone else in, and he decides to enact revenge on all of them, and eventually he makes his way up to being president himself, and never really ever going out for an election to be president. It's all like in a 3-year span, and then when at his last season he decides to step down as president, and Claire Underwood becomes president, and then the next season they get rid of him, and so they already kind of had a footing in the door. They could have got rid of him, and they did. So, which only stinks. They could have really done the season well if this didn't all happen, and but it did. Kind of ruined the last season of the show, but Claire Underwood was my favorite anyway. So, great show, backstabbing at its best.
So did you like the last season then?
It was okay. It could have been a lot better. They rushed it. They had to redo They had to redo it all. Like in a short. They ended up scrapping the whole series, the last season, and redoing it. So, my third favorite.
I didn't know you liked it quite that much, but that's good. Okay, number 3, I had Dexter, the original one. I haven't watched the new season. Not Dexter's Lab, Steve.
Is the new one with the same guy?
Yeah. That was probably the first show I ever watched all the way through.
It's your top 3 show, and you haven't watched the new season yet?
I don't know if I put it to rest how it was. They didn't really need to go back.
Did Tom watch it yet?
They already ruined my taste when they turned him into a lumberjack at the end of it. And there's no real, 10 years later, let's change the ending now.
Yeah, there are some shows where I don't know if I'd want to watch more of it. I don't know.
I don't think Tom watched them all yet either, but I watched, I think, an episode or 2, and it was pretty good. But
yeah, I've never seen
that show is awesome from start. It was like episodes 1 through 4 are amazing, and then the other ones were okay. And then the ending, of course, was hot water garbage. Steve, number 3.
I'm a simple man. This is what I grew up with. Regular show.
That is just a little bit past my time.
Yeah, I never got into
That's
it.
like the next gen of cartoons after.
Yeah. It's a cartoon?
Yeah. It's a classic cartoon. It's about 2 characters. They work in a park, and they're just slackers, and just a bunch of random hijinks happen.
Is that the one with the blue bird, or is that Adventure Time?
That's regular show.
Yeah, okay. I've seen episodes of it. I feel like when I was in high school, one of my teachers used to play Adventure Time and regular show, just for episodes for us in class. I was like, okay.
It's got good taste.
I was like, okay. I don't know how this is helping me with my chemistry, but why not?
Episode was about a mystical keytar that transported anything to the moon if you played it. It was weird. It's a great show, though.
Dan's a disgust. Look at him.
This one he doesn't even know to hate.
I haven't seen anything. I don't know it.
If you saw it, you would probably hate it just based off how the artwork is.
Yeah, you would hate it.
It wasn't a bad show, though. I watched just an episode or 2.
My number 3, New Girl, my other comedy show. I think when we did comedies or sitcoms, I made the argument that it was the best one. Have you seen it, Dan?
I've seen it and I've heard of it.
You've seen how many episodes of it?
No, not enough of it.
Okay.
I'm just shocked. I would think Niko is somewhat of a... I kind of... When I picture Niko when he's talking about TV, when he's talking about TV shows and what his favorite shows would be, I kind of think he has like a Tom type style of shows where he watches Tom style shows and he really gets involved. I just would never suspect New Girl be on your list.
I definitely get involved, and when it comes to like a show like Lost, or like we were just talking about the Rings of Power, or like House of Dragons, like I get deep into like the wiki articles for them, and I'm clicking every blue link and reading up on every single thing on it. But yeah, New Girl I think is the funniest show. It's just got like...
It's got some funny actors in it.
Yeah, Jake Johnson in that show is the funniest character I think I've ever seen in a show. I'm not even like a big fan of Zooey Deschanel. Like, she kind of annoys me, but like
she annoys me.
Every other character in the show is so good, and like the way that she is makes everyone else funnier, and like just to like put people in like awkward situations. Like I feel like she's very good at being like awkward. So Yeah, New Girl, I think, it's my favorite comedy show. Very good show. If you haven't watched it, I definitely.
Yikes.
Before I watched it, I thought it was like
I didn't
just
see
a
that
girl
coming.
show. Like I was like, no, that's the stupidest show of all time. Like the intro annoyed me, and then I watched it and I was like, this show is hilarious. Jackson's a big proponent of New Girl as well.
You know what we should
big
do? We should
proponent
do
of a
a
lot of
top
things.
5 TV theme songs.
Yep, I think that's on my list.
Oh, I
George Lopez
love
would make a
theme
push for me
songs.
there. Low rider.
I love theme songs.
We can do
I
that.
guess the Game of Thrones
Down the
is
road.
pretty well.
Yep, that is. All right, my number 2 is, it's tough for me to not put it 1. There's 2 shows that I really like. Number 2 is Peaky Blinders. It is sweet. Have you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Yes. You've seen what, an episode? You know
That
what
show's
it is?
just boring.
No, it's not.
When I tried to watch it, I
Tom
found
was
it
a
to be
big.
boring.
He tried to get me on. I was like, it's not that
Peaky
good.
Blinders is the coolest show ever. Like, they just do badass things. They're just a gang. They beat the shit out of everyone.
I just find
They
that
take what they want.
particular time period to be boring.
I feel like it's pretty cool. They just go to the bar drinking, then people try and disrupt their illegal activities, and they have their little hats they wear, and they have blades in the brim of them, just cut people with them.
Wow.
Dan loves the backstabbing, all like the string pulling and behind the scenes stuff. That's pretty much a lot of that. All the different gangs and factions trying to angle for power in Birmingham.
But I thought, is it okay? So is it a real drama, or is it like? I thought it was more of a show like they try to be serious, but it's just stupid sometimes too. Or is it a serious show?
Yeah.
Uh,
It's not funny. Like, there's like one guy in it, Arthur, who's like the main guy, Tommy Shelby. His brother Arthur is like a bit of like the wild card. Like, he sometimes like messes up like his Tommy's plans because he's like has a temper and like will just kill people he's not supposed to. But it's not funny. It's just cool.
do they still have seasons coming out?
The last season just came out probably 3 months ago.
How many seasons?
I think it was the 5th or 6th was the last one, and they're doing a movie to finish it, like a 2.5 hour thing.
And that's Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's owned by Netflix right now.
They had the one guy I always remember who's in Batman, Scarecrow.
Yeah, that's the main
That's
guy,
the guy.
Tommy Shelby.
And
It's like Tom Hardy is a
yeah.
huge part of it. He's the cool. His character in that is just peak Tom Hardy. Like, I guess if there was any humor in the show, like it's Tom Hardy's character. Like, he's just the way he talks. Like, he's got his like Bane-ish voice, like just goofy. Like, he's the leader of like the like they're just like the normal, like, I don't know, whatever they are, British or whatever. And there's like the Irish, there's the Italians, and there's the Jews. And Tom Hardy's the head of that. He's got a huge like beard. It's cool.
I'll have to look into it maybe one more chance down the line.
Sounds pretty cool.
It is very cool. All right, Steve.
My number 2,
Pokemon.
no. The flip of the coin of regular show, Adventure Time.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. It's made by like, the same people, isn't it? Or
No, different
the
people.
artwork's very similar.
Yeah.
I thought. But
As to what?
those 2 shows you just said, first 3 and 2.
They debuted at the same day.
Really?
Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
I would say if I had to pick one, I'd lean Adventure Time over regular show as well. I don't really watch either of them, but I know
Adventure
more
Time's
Adventure Time.
it's still relevant. They have like Distant Lands, which is an expansion on the end of the series, featuring different characters, but it's pretty good.
So,
You can go first.
so is your whole list cartoons, Steve?
Nah, George Lopez is on.
Yeah, okay.
That's true. I always come across like TikToks of Adventure Time, and it's like just like the deepest like quotes ever, and it's just coming from like the dog. Like he's like doing like he's like twerking, and he's like saying like a deep like quote about like life and like love and stuff like that. And it's like, what is happening?
Is that all you had for number 2?
Yep.
My number 2 is good old Mandalorian. So soaking, dripping wet. It's just a good show in a lot of ways, not just because it's Star Wars, but like a lot of Star Wars is not good content lately. It's coming out. Obi-Wan was good, but even so, it's like a B+.
Yeah.
Mandalorian is like top tier.
Yeah, I didn't love Boba Fett show.
Yeah, that one wasn't
Obi-Wan
that good
was
either.
just cool because it was like Ewan McGregor.
Yep, the actors made that good, but it could have been even better if they wanted it.
Mandalorian, that one part was like the closest I've ever come to like crying at something from like not a sad way when Luke comes back in that one.
I did watch it like 10 times in a row.
No, there's the guy, the YouTube guy that cries during it.
Yeah,
That's the best.
Star Wars theory.
Yeah.
But I felt them a little bit after all the stuff that was going down with episode 8 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
The franchise was headed towards the trash, towards dark times, and then
I haven't watched Andor yet, but I heard that was really good.
people have been enjoying that. I'm not a big no force and lightsaber guy, but I did see a screenshot of Inquisitor, so maybe there's still some of them.
Yeah.
Mandalorian.
I'm not surprised
About what?
that you would pick that.
Okay, what's your number 2, Dan?
So this is a tough one, but my number 2 would have to be on NBC Chicago PD.
I would have thought that would have been your number 1.
It's not. Oh, there's one show that's number 1 that's not even that doesn't come close to touching anyone. I like the cop shows. I've always been a cop show fan. And she needs help with the counter. And she put something up
Good,
there.
because I hate this show.
And it's
Wow,
really,
it's actually a
really
pretty good
just.
show.
You watched it before?
Yeah,
It-
my mom loves that show.
It's awful
The
now.
mom show.
It's almost intolerable now. It's gotten bad. It's just they just got rid of my favorite character last week.
Who got cut?
The actor's name is Jesse Lee Soffer. He plays Jay Halstead. So he's my favorite. He's gone now, and it's just a good. It started out like badass policing before, where they were doing like questionable things and like beating up people in the alleys, and then but now like in the way the world's changed over the last 5. The show's been on 10 years now, maybe 11, 10.
Something like that.
It's like it's a 10th season. So 10 years ago, police reform wasn't a big thing. So now that all that's starting to come about, it's like, I personally think you can. I still personally think you can put a TV show out there and do stuff like that, and it shouldn't really offend people. It's just a show, but NBC obviously sees that differently. So now they kind of work the reform into the show. It's kind of taken away from what they do, and it's just kind of turned into a very soft show as of late.
I'm not a fan of shows that are like supposed to be in like the modern era, like when they come out like weekly and it's like supposed to be like going on at this time, because then it's like you can't. It's harder to do stuff.
It's harder. It's very watered down and it's very soft now. They just top.
What are we talking about?
Chicago PD.
very
The first top
soft.
60. I had to put it on there because I really there's 2 other shows I thought about putting on, but
Was it the other 2 Chicago shows?
no.
Do you own every episode and season on DVD of Chicago PD?
Up till season 8.
Pretty absurd.
I just don't love shows like when I was younger. I used to watch like some of the NCIS stuff, but like I'm not a cop show guy.
I like cop shows.
I've heard a lot of your shows, and if it's not number 1, their show, I'm going to be fucking pissed that you didn't mention it at all on your list. But we'll see.
All right.
I'm sure there'd be something I forgot about.
Well, I feel like if Mike thinks it's your 1, you shouldn't have. All right, you want to do your hate round?
I guess.
You know your
Oh, I know what I hate.
Okay.
What do you hate?
I hate, and I just say it as plural, and I'm just going to leave it at that, cartoons. I cannot stand cartoons. Oh, I know what show you're thinking of. I thought it's on my list, but it didn't go on.
Wow.
What?
You'll know it. I'll talk after you expose yours.
It is just, I can't take cartoons. I can't stand the, you don't go home on a Saturday morning watch cartoons and
I don't go home on a Saturday morning. You wake up early.
I don't like the whole, I hate it. I stay home on Saturday morning to watch cartoons. Like, I don't do that. I would never wake up on a Saturday morning with a bowl of cereal. I'm gonna watch some cartoons.
Well, people don't do it anymore. It reminds you of when you were a kid.
I didn't do it as a kid either. I went out and I played kickball. I went out and I did stuff. I didn't sit here and watch cartoons on a Saturday
Well, it's
morning.
not like you do it all day long.
Holy moly. I cannot stand that whole...
I would say that the only time I ever watched... I guess Saturday morning, if I woke up at 6:30 in the morning and watched it until 7:30 until I had stuff to do.
I'd rather gouge my eyes out.
I'll watch animated shows now. I love the Legend of Korra or Avatar. I like those. I like Rick and Morty.
Those are ones I've never watched. The Avatar.
And then the anime.
Teen Titans.
I can't. It's awful. I really can't.
The old ones.
I can't.
Yeah,
And people talk about them.
I like the new ones too, but
people talk about them like they got legitimate storyline. It's just so dumb. I can't take it. It's just so annoying.
We'll find one that you like eventually.
No, I will not.
There's a difference between. I can understand if you don't like Yogi Bear, you don't like how it's just random, it's like a comic strip, but there's shows that are actually written to be a storyline,
Okay.
like cop cartoons.
I said my piece. Moving on.
All right.
I feel like we have to argue that a little more because it's such an absurd take.
Hence why I haven't said a word pretty much when Steve giving off his list. I hate every single show he's talking about.
There was a little stretch when I was one of my school years. I was waking up every morning to watch Pokemon. I remember there was one where Ash got turned to stone or something.
Yeah, I think.
Or no.
Movies.
It was the one where Pikachu almost died. I think I almost got brought to tears.
Pokemon 2000.
But
I used to get up early as fuck to watch Bakugan.
God, that's
I never watched Bakugan. I watched some Digimon back in my day.
I'm getting a headache. Just
Never
listening to
Bakugan.
this.
Bakugan
Digimon.
was fucking wet.
Digimon's sweet.
That's a wannabe Pokemon.
It is.
But it was cool.
Cool like Arnold or cool like
Neither.
P. Diddy?
Neither cool like that.
Alright, my most hated is Big Brother.
Okay.
You know that show?
I know it. I never watched it.
Dan and his whole family are probably the most annoying, stupid people about watching that show, and it's one of the most stupid, fake shows that I've ever heard of or seen.
I don't know how you put it as fake.
It's honestly some of the worst dribble you could imagine, and they meet up every night at the perfect time to watch it that it's on. I can't think of a worse show to do that for.
It's a summer reality show.
For everyone that says they have good taste, for you guys to all line up and watch that dribble.
First off, we don't all line up and watch it every episode together.
Every Thursday, they have Shevlin watching Big Brother night.
It's just a great show.
And there is nothing that can break their plans for it, no matter
That's
how.
why Mike doesn't like it. Because it's inconvenienced his plans before.
Not the pick, no video
That's
games with the
you actually
boys,
watch
no
it every
streaming.
Yeah.
Is it still on?
No, it's only on 2 months a year.
But I'm saying
And
it's
during
still
that time,
on,
he is
currently,
unbearable.
No, so
2022.
It's
on.
unbearable.
Oh yeah, it's on every year. So it starts in July and it goes to the end of it goes to the middle of September. It's 2.5 months. Towards the end of the year, towards the end of the season, I stopped watching. I really only like it the first month and a half when everyone's in the house. So what it is 16 people move into a house, and then they battle for head of. It's a very big social game. It's like backstabbing at its ultimate best. They battle for head of household.
And
That
it's
head of
all
household
fake.
got nominated 2 people to go up for eviction. There's a power of veto, which means you can save you from eviction, and then everyone votes on who gets evicted. And there's another head of household meet, and you just go. It goes like that every week. And there are teams, and there's alliances that work together, and they backstab each other. They all live in one house. There's no electronics, no nothing.
Oh, so like Total Drama.
I guess so, but there's no they don't.
But it's not. They're inside just the whole time.
But it's just a great
It's
show.
like
Mike
Big
doesn't
Brother.
like it because
Scripted, fake.
it's not
I
scripted.
hate
Stupid.
reality TV.
That's the
so
only reality show I
brainless.
watch. It's literally the only reality show I watch.
And it's horrible.
I hate reality TV, and I've been forced to watch The Bachelor for
See, that's
years.
all fake, I think.
Oh, that's
Same
fake, and
thing.
this isn't fake. It is so
Mike,
fake.
Big
Ken.
Brother, they're out there fighting
my
for competition.
God.
I don't know how you can say it's fake.
It's all fake.
It's not at all fake.
Where I can see how you think it's entertaining, but I hate reality TV.
No, I do too. But this is, I think, entertaining. It can be entertaining.
Tom's the same way. He pisses me off. He'll argue to the death that it's real. And
It's
just,
100. You
it's-
can't
oh
fake
my-
it. It's not like storyline.
How do you fake The Bachelor then?
They select who they want to select.
And they do the same for Big Brother.
No, they don't.
Who selects who they want to select?
What?
The TV writers? And they just get married for like 5
And then
years.
they don't get married. And then they get...
There's like many of them that have kids and like live together.
Whatever. Big Brother's not fake.
I still think it's fake.
It's
they
fake.
probably knew the person before.
Mike just doesn't like it because
if that shows
his plans before.
all the time for years.
That's why he doesn't
for
like
fucking
it.
years.
Rather than playing Xbox or not doing
it's a
pickleball on that night,
stupid
it's
show.
inconvenience Mike, so he gets annoyed with it.
I also agree with that there's a lot of people that, whether it's like girls watching like the Kardashians or like people watching like Survivor and things, like they will like not miss it every week. Like that's weird.
Big Brother's on 3 times a week. Yeah. It's on Wednesday night, it's on Thursday night, and it's on
And
Sunday
they could
night.
be even worse about it with more. I only know about Thursday night. I don't know what they do the other nights, but they could very well be doing it every night of the week that it's on.
On Thursday
That
night.
is absurd. There's nothing. I mean, I guess I'm watching football 3 nights
It's
a
no
week.
different.
but
Like the Amazing Race is like 3 times a week. Survivor's like twice
yeah,
a
I think
week.
they're all stupid.
I mean,
I just said that.
Are those
that's
ones real or are they fake?
I don't know. I don't watch them.
They're all fake. All right.
All right, that's enough hate from me.
My least favorite, motherfucking Peppa Pig. I have a vendetta against fucking Peppa Pig. Because it came out around the time when my little sibling was still little, so they turn on the TV, always be Peppa Pig, no matter what. Hey, can I change this TV? Can I play video games? No, Peppa Pig.
So it was one of those ones by force.
Yes.
There's deep roots with it.
It's fucking bullshit.
You can tell the generation difference between Steve and I. 'Cause I have no idea what he's talking about.
You don't want to know this one.
It's that little pink pig.
I actually don't know.
has
I'm
a-
good.
It's like paper. It
Really
almost looks
high
like
British
paper.
voice.
I have no idea. It's
Sounds
not-
like something
trying
I
to
could
explain
hate.
to me isn't making it any better.
Yeah, you. I mean, it is hate. I've been around stuff like that. My mom ran a daycare my whole life, so there's always like 3-year-old kids there watching the dumbest TV shows all the time. Like
Why
I
don't you
can,
scoot over
my
and
whole
put
life,
something
I
good
can
in?
never be in my own living room. Like I had my basement or my bedroom. I was never in my living room.
At least back then we didn't have fucking Coco Melon on TV.
It's true. I don't think I can handle that. I was watching a lot of weird stuff though. All right, my hate is something that I just hate that when people like it in Friends, and I hate that people say it's the best show ever. And
Friends?
yeah,
It's mediocre at best.
Oh boy.
This is another Dan hate session.
I just don't know why I would think Niko would love that show.
no.
He likes
Why
New
don't
Girl,
you
but
like
doesn't
it?
like Friends.
What's your reasoning for not liking Friends?
Because I don't enjoy the show, and I don't like. It's like when I don't like. Trying to think of an example. Like I don't like the Giants, the New York Giants. They're very insignificant to me. And I hate that people like them so much.
So you really only like show people like Friends.
So you're spiteful here.
I
Which
don't
is a
like
reasonable
the show.
excuse.
See, I think you would have liked the show. If I had to, if
I've
I
not
if
seen
you
every
gave-
episode. I've watched like episodes of it.
I know, but if you
before.
were to give me a list of shows that out of here, the ones that Niko don't like, I would say he definitely likes Friends.
But this
'Cause
is
it's just
most
like-
hated
Yeah.
of all.
It's about a group of people that just socialize. I think that's something you wouldn't. You hate that?
Dan trying to defend it.
the humor just doesn't.
And by no means is it in my top at all. I'm just saying it's not a bad
the humor
show.
doesn't play to me, and I hate how much people like it. I hate when people say it's like the best show, and people like do quotes of it all time to me, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, just like The Office.
Yeah, it's similar to The Office.
Back
but like,
in the day-
I enjoy The Office more than I enjoy Friends.
Back
The
in-
Office isn't like a top 20, 30 show for me, but like it's funny. Like I watch it, I'm like, okay, I enjoyed that episode.
Just The Office of the
There's
90s.
a couple good
Yeah.
ones that in there that could be funnier.
Back in the day, Friends laid it to SmackDown on rate. It was a top tier show.
I
It was one of the
understand that. That's what I'm
originators.
saying.
It was a huge show.
That's what I'm saying. That I know people love it, and
Oh,
I
people,
don't
it
like
is ranked pretty high.
I think it's just that genre in general that I hate because I would never watch it either.
I'm shocked that you don't like it. I think you don't like it because people like it.
That was part of my explanation.
I don't think you
reasons for
sit
hate
there and go,
are
"This is
acceptable
a
here."
horrible show."
I don't enjoy watching
so as
the
Mike
show.
said, you spite hate it.
But like, see, it's not even like the parts of it where it's like, because I like How I Met Your Mother, and like that's like I feel like a similar type of show. Like the humor in Friends, I don't know if it's because it's like a generation before me, like it just doesn't like hit to me.
I'm shocked at that.
Dan's
not
hurt, shocked.
Sorry.
Well, let me go first on number one, because I'm going to piggyback off of what you just did there.
Okay.
Is it
I'm
Seinfeld?
going to... What?
Is this Seinfeld?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to pick a show... Same time frame, though. I'm going to pick a show that going back, and it was laying it the smackdown in ratings. It was the number one show... 15 seasons, has a record for most Emmys on it at all time. Okay, it was going on at the same time as Friends. Those two shows on the same channel,
I hope it's the one I think it
NBC.
is.
Okay, were just dominating the ratings. Seinfeld came to an end. Friends kind of started up, and then this show came right after, and they just dominated the weekly in ratings.
Like the show, or you just say it's a good show?
I like the show, but I have the facts to back up why it's the best show out there. 15 seasons, some of the best actors ever that known have come out of that show. Good old ER.
Alright, that's the one.
There is one show, my second. There's not any show that come close to even coming to my number one. What?
Do the theme song.
I'm not gonna do the.
Come on, do it better than that. That was only like 2 notes.
You never heard the theme song?
I don't
At least do
What? I can't do that.
Come on.
No.
It's your favorite show.
It's my favorite show.
You don't know the
Listen
theme song?
quietly on my phone.
You
Put
can't
it
listen to
loudly.
it
I'm not
quietly.
going to.
I'm gonna hang on. I gotta save it on my
You
YouTube.
get the
Hang
audio
on.
removed from Twitch.
It can be a short clip.
Hang
No,
on.
I'm gonna listen to the whole thing on here.
I got it right here. Right here.
Dan used to watch this every day in one of the stores that we were at.
I don't enjoy like medical shows. I get grossed
This
out.
didn't have.
You cut it out before even the good part.
I don't want to get in.
Okay.
Going. One of the best shows, and I still, okay. Actually, this could be a good question. If there's ever a show that when I sit down to eat, I like watching something when I'm eating.
Yeah, me too.
When I go home at night and I have my mode or whatever, I sit down, I gotta watch something.
It is.
So I open my laptop and rather it's YouTube videos, rather it's YouTube TV stuff that I gotta catch up on. There's always something I gotta be watching something. I can't just sit and eat. So my go-to to popping something up to watch at any time, any episode, is good old ER. I can pull it up at any time. I can watch any episode. It's great. I love seasons 5 to 9. Those are my favorite. I can watch those over and over and over and over and over again.
5 to 9. You
This
don't like
is
the
the best-
George Clooney season?
I do, but
I
the
thought he was
best.
out by episode.
He does. He leaves season 5.
Isn't that show dead after that point?
Nope. It actually just said
Who else is
popular.
in it?
What?
Who else is in it?
Anthony Edwards. He played in
He's from Revenge of the
Top
Nerds.
Flight,
Yeah, I just know him from Top Gun.
Top Gun. George Clooney. There's not a lot of big people in there, I guess.
There are a lot of visitors that were big.
But the
Leave,
show is
yeah.
known for its guest stars, and it has some of the biggest guest stars. People that have like top shows right now all went through ER for. Like all the Modern Family cast all went through ER. Mariska Hargitay from Law and Order SVU went through ER. Like there's a lot of people.
Whip out these names.
And a lot of people went through ER for guest roles. Like it is known for Sally Field, a ton of people. I'm just trying to think of people out that had significant roles. Top show. Can't argue it. Honored Merit. I just want to say one mention to Yellowstone. I really wanted to put it on my list. I just couldn't. Kevin Costner, Yellowstone. It's a top TV
I've
show.
been recommended to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
It is the right now, just so we're clear. It is the right now. It hasn't debuted yet for this season, but it is the top show in America right now, Yellowstone.
Yeah, my mom watches it.
Just so you know. It has the highest
My
rating.
mom also watched it.
It has the highest
But I've
rating.
heard from multiple people to watch it.
Yeah.
It blows all cable. It blows all regular channels, all cartoons,
What is it on?
streaming.
What is it about?
Those Netflix shows.
It has the number one rating right now.
I thought
it's
Dahmer,
on.
I thought the Dahmer show was like the Netflix second highest ever.
It's
It was
on
a pretty good
Paramount
show.
TV.
I haven't watched it. Don't really want to, but
The
It's
cable
supposed to.
show. It's on Paramount.
You got to do it for Evan.
It debuted. I think the new season debuts in a couple weeks in November. Kevin Costner. That's all I need to say. It's a great show.
He's washed.
Not really.
I like him in Draft Day. NFL
That
draft
was one of
movie right
Dane's
up
That
my
would be a
alley.
show you would pick.
It's a movie.
Didn't you have that on DVD, Dan?
Kind of.
Draft Day?
Oh, and real quick. The Sopranos and Stranger Things. Oh my
Can't
life.
just keep.
I gotta say these because they are on my
But what
list.
if those are one of our favorite?
I'm not
shows?
adding anything. I'm just simply saying they're on my list.
I remember the story with Draft Day. That was Dave's DVD.
No.
And you fucking stole it. You fucking stole it.
Oh my God.
He wanted it back. I think he got it back. But did you give it back though?
I think so.
Is Kevin Costner?
What?
My number one show is Game of Thrones. Only season 1 through 5 though.
Oh, my number one's also Game of Thrones, so just throw it out.
It was one of the just simply the greatest show there ever was until the ending.
Season 6 is phenomenal.
It had the facts and it was it's season 8 that you're trying to
I mean,
fucking troll.
the last season is phenomenal.
I mean, it's very cool, like the battles and stuff in it.
It is
but it's
visually
just, like,
pleasing. That's about it.
Just the Night King
It was
thing and the Bran thing.
Betrayal to all of its fans and anyone that was invested
Not
in any
really.
storylines.
Like
Yeah.
literally, like the cool, like Daenerys is my favorite character.
Oh,
The way
God.
that she dies is cool, like fine. I'm cool with that. Just
They just didn't build up to it though.
Bran is the part that's annoying.
She might be one of the most annoying characters in that show.
Wow.
I wanted.
That is a hot
I
take
might even
from
say
Dave.
I cannot stand watching her. Those little. She becomes a selfish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the point.
And that's why we
Yeah,
don't
she-
like the new season because it didn't make sense.
She becomes so
She wasn't
annoying
supposed to
last
do
season.
that.
Like,
Well, maybe
cool,
she was,
I'm
but-
cool with her like going like kind of crazy and like.
Oh,
being-
she went crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, it was too,
was like
yeah,
a
too
flip of a
fast.
hat, yeah.
It needed to be more of a slow burn. Like they didn't need to wait till season 7 to send her over to Westeros. Like
The
if they
power
did it,
got
like,
to her
season
head.
4 or 5 would have made sense. Yeah, but that was the whole thing because she was the Mad King's daughter. She like that's why no one wanted a Targaryen to be the king.
Because she went mad.
Yeah. But it was just like weird that it like happened like they did like kind of like time jump things and like they
Yeah.
she turned crazy right away.
I
Like,
just think that season's a great season. It brought so many characters that went seasons without seeing each other together. in
yeah,
one
that was
spot.
cool, but they did it. That
And then it was
that
everything was a
season-
letdown when they did it.
That season should have
What
been
did they do that
3
was cool
seasons,
together?
not 1 season.
List one thing they did that was cool to each other.
What?
You want to troll, but you have to have some sort of reason.
What do you
about
mean?
it.
They all got together. I can't think of all
And
the
what did
characters'
they do when
names.
they got together? And you can't think of the names.
I can't. It's been a while. I watched it
I'm
so
trying to think
quickly.
of what was in
You
that
can burn
season.
in
Was that
Skull Hell.
battle?
Who's the big arm? Who's the big knight? The lady knight.
Brienne.
Brienne. Or Brianna, right?
Okay.
Brienne.
Well, she's one of my favorites. When the
That's
night
fine.
when they made her a knight, the scene when they made her a knight, and the
That was like
emotion.
season 3.
No, it's not. It's the last season.
Isn't
They made her
it?
an honorary knight.
That was-
Jamie comes in and he goes, "I'm going to make you an honorary knight of the."
That was
That's
like
in the last season.
Yes, there was a night before the big battle,
That was
and they're all
stupid.
waiting. They're all sitting by the campfire,
stupid.
Oh, that was stupid.
and I can't remember all their stupid names. I know exactly who their faces
Wait, what
are.
was in the
Tyrion
battle?
was there.
The battle of what?
the longest night or whatever.
Oh, the battle.
When the
Okay.
white, when the
Was the battle when? What season was the battle when like
The episode that no one
Jamie's-
could see.
when Jamie? Yeah, when Jamie was they're on like that field, and then like all the Dothraki that come over the hill, and then like the dragon comes in. That's sweet. You know what I'm talking
that's
about?
season 7.
Didn't
isn't it?
they
I don't know if it
burn?
was 7 or 8.
Is that when they burned the guy that was
It's not
refusing to
8.
bend the knee?
I think it's 7.
Yeah, like Dickon and Rickon.
Yeah.
Because they were
Yeah.
battling, and then
The
season 8 they
Tartars,
got
yeah.
together, and then they never
But only some
battled
of them
again.
did. Like Jamie, like just went with them, but then like he went up north. But then he like went back with Cersei after that.
How did the
die.
city come apart?
What do you mean? Daenerys blew it up with the
Okay, so
dragon.
maybe it is the last season. I'm trying to pick. Maybe it is the last season
Yeah.
where he's out on the
the
field. and
season
she
that
attacked.
Dan loves, he knows nothing about.
Well, they did warp. They did warp pretty quick. I forget how the
I need to
time.
rewatch it too. Does Jamie kill Euron or does Euron kill Jamie? Jamie kills Euron.
actually
Jamie
don't
dies
remember
from the
that.
building falling on him.
Yeah, so Jamie killed Euron. They're fighting in like the little like moat, like that.
Did he get him? Yeah.
One
See, I
of them
think-
died and the other one didn't.
I think the problem is you and Tom haven't put any time into rewatching season 8 and
I
really
watched it twice.
and really did. Oh, really? Did you tell Tom you watched it twice?
I'm pretty sure Tom's watched it twice.
No, he hasn't.
We all at the same time.
You got to sit. See, the problem is it's no different than Star Wars, okay? And Game of Thrones fans are no different than Star Wars fans. You guys think you have all this time invested, and that it's like you're some big. You guys want 10 years. I get it. Investing your time and soul into Game of Thrones, and you feel obligated, or you feel that you deserve. HBO gave you what they wanted to give you. You don't deserve any kind of special season.
We wanted to give them.
You don't deserve it. You took 10 years to watch a show, and that's the way it is. You're not obligated to some special season.
That's fine. We're not obligated to that.
And it's no different.
We're also
Star
not
Wars.
Obligated to like it or watch it.
It's no different. You guys, everyone, all the
And
Star
the
Wars
fans
fans,
voted,
they're
pal.
obligated to these certain
the fans
type of
voted,
movies.
pal.
Okay.
With their views and their fucking ratings.
Season 8, I thought was great.
Yeah, no
and
one's
if
going
you
to jail
really
for
truly
it,
value a TV show, you got to look at the significance of Season 8 and all these characters that went years. Because characters that saw each other in seasons 2 and 3 didn't see each other
They get
in
no
4,
credit
5,
for
6,
that,
or 7.
Dan.
But you
Because
got
that was built up to always be that way. They did it, and then they fumbled.
all those characters
It was literally
come into place
so
that
easy
fell.
to make
It
wet
means
content
so
with,
much.
and then they shit on it.
By the way, just a quick another shout out. Just got a notice on my phone. Coming October 18th, Unsolved Mysteries.
Cool.
Netflix is dropping all the notices right now. They must know we're talking about TV shows.
It's not even like a it's a known fact that season was trash. It's a fucking fact. People lost their jobs, Dan. Where are the writers from Game of Thrones now? Jobless. Fucking
That
jobless.
very well could be so. I thought the season was great. And
How
I
is
think-
HBO doing?
and all the fans and all the fans who think they were obligated to a certain season and cry the blues, yes. And that's not how TV shows should be.
Oh, that's how it is these days, pal. Mm-hmm. That's how it fucking. No one's gonna accept trash.
All these Game of Thrones people wanted what they wanted. People like
I didn't want what I wanted. I just wanted something
years
better.
And years and years having conversations and arguments on Reddit about it.
I don't even know what I wanted. I just wanted something better than that. So I don't know why you're saying that. I didn't have any specific plan I wanted out for it.
I didn't hate it as much as Tom and Mike, but I just don't get the brand thing. That's really good.
I kind of get it.
Jets825 in chat says, I think Dan is trolling, but Johnny's telling me he is too stupid to be trolling.
Thank you, Johnny. I think he's trolling as well, but he's trying
I'm
to...
not quite sure how Johnny can even see the show because he has 4 eyes, can't see anything.
Wow.
He should be home trying to get some hair. Okay, if you really want to lit on the SmackDown on Johnny, so Johnny go take a fucking hike. Johnny falls into the other category. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. All the hate that comes into Dan, it's all piling up. Johnny is just like Tom, who invested years and years and years of watching Game of Thrones, who thinks he's entitled to a certain way the season should go. Sorry,
Well,
hit the road, Johnny.
Well, Dan, what's your favorite cereal?
What?
What's your favorite cereal?
You're not gonna like my answer to that.
It doesn't matter.
I like dry cereal.
That's fine.
I like cereal.
It doesn't matter. Whatever cereal you like.
Frosted
That's besides
Flakes.
the point. Okay, so you eat Frosted Flakes for 10 years, and then one day they decide to just change it up and frost it with shit. Are you going to be happy, or
How is that
are
the same
you
thing?
obligated to the same
just
Frosted
wouldn't eat
Flakes you
it.
ate for 10 years
I just
before
wouldn't
that?
I just wouldn't eat
Are
it.
you not obligated to the same Frosted Flakes when you purchase Frosted Flakes?
That is a
have that
completely,
back?
completely,
And then Mike's not gonna watch even.
completely different.
Yeah, see, I'm not even as mad at like the show writers and stuff. It's just stupid George R. Martin can't finish his fucking books.
They should.
That's his fault, really.
Yeah.
But they were excellent at copying his work, and then when
Yeah.
they had to make it up for themselves is when they...
You guys only hate it because you invested so much time into it.
Well, yeah, that's a fucking
Okay, that's
betrayal.
the only reason why you don't like it. It's actually great television if you really sit down.
It's a number one show, Dan.
Okay.
It's not great television.
It's great
It's a known
television.
fact that it's garbage.
Season 8, I think, is one of the best seasons out there. I'm sorry.
This guy watched the whole thing in 2 days, right when it came out.
Nope. I watched it in about 6. See, that's the problem. I have about 8 months invested in watching Game of Thrones. I looked at the season no differently than watching all the other seasons. You guys have 10 years of arguing and conspiracy theories and chit-chatting with friends and arguing on Reddit and reading gossip websites and all this. Like, you've invested too much time. You think you're entitled to a certain way the season
Yes,
should end.
I'm
That's not
entitled
how it
to
works.
a
That
web
is
TV
not
show
how
that was
TV shows
made
work.
great from A to B. It's not that I don't care about the decisions they made. They just didn't write it well. If they made it, if they
Not
did,
how it works.
they could have went any direction they wanted, and I would have been happy as long as they had a good explanation for all of it. And they didn't. It was trash, and people lost their jobs.
Johnny doesn't like TV shows. I don't even know why he hates movies and TV shows. I don't even know why he's commenting.
Like when all the Dothraki charged into the White Walkers and then came back in the final episodes.
Who
Those
said that?
Dothraki all died.
Who
Jets
said that?
825.
Say that again. What did he say?
Jets 825 said, like when all the Dothraki charged into the White Walkers and then came back in the final episodes, those Dothraki all died.
Or when Daenerys just forgot about Euron's crossbow that killed one of her dragons, and they had the post-episode interview with the directors. They're like, yeah, Daenerys just kind of forgot about that guy. And he was one of the biggest threats in the whole time. But
You can say what you want. I think it's
you don't even like it yourself. You don't like any of the show.
What?
Really?
I
you
like
watched
Game
it
of
because you were
Thrones.
forced to watch it, so you can't appreciate the badness if you didn't appreciate the wetness of the early part.
You know who's watching? You know who's watching Game of Thrones right now?
I've started to watch it as well.
No, but who's watching for the first time? I'd love to get his opinion when he's done with it.
Who?
Who's watching for the first? It's Tyler. He's going through and he made a comment to Tom the other day about how he just went through the Red Wedding debacle, and he called it a backstab, a betrayal. And
That's how
I
everybody
didn't get his
felt.
argument for why, but
I
mean,
stopped watching it.
A lot of people
I
did.
want to see.
Rob Stark was my favorite.
But see, Tyler's gonna be under, and I have not talked to Tyler at all about this Game of Thrones. But Tyler's been under the same type of system as me, where we're watching it in a shorter amount of time, as opposed to you guys who invested years. I want to see
I know
what
nothing
his.
about Tyler's taste of shows.
I don't either, but I want to see what his take is of season 8, and I won't mention anything until he's done watching it. I want to see what his take on season 8 is.
You don't even like it. You're just trolling.
I like it.
You don't like it.
I like Game of Thrones. It's a good show. I don't know what to tell you.
You're just trying to get people fired up.
Not
and
really.
you don't even like
All
it
right,
yourself.
Let's let Steve do his.
What, we're another cartoon?
Yes, actually, but first, Jets 825 says that crossbow shoots a dragon out of the sky while the boats are moving, the dragon is flying, and hits him 3 times from 10,000 feet.
No one even knows what Bud's talking about. Let's move on.
There's a lot of reasons why people hate it, but
My number one, motherfucking Chowder.
I actually don't know what that is.
I know that.
A
I made a lot of
cartoon-
rada jokes in my day.
It was a show that came out
You would hate that.
before
look
Adventure
it
Time and regular show.
Oh, I don't plan on it.
It had its flip side with the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, which was fucking terrifying as a kid.
That's very scary.
Chowder was great. A lot of fourth wall jokes. A lot of mindless fun. A lot of food like the froggy apple
So
crumple
you-
thumpkin.
This is your favorite?
Yes.
Okay, I thought we were doing hated still for a second. Okay. So I'll have to look into it. Chowder is Steve's number 1 most favorite show
It
ever.
only has 3 seasons, but it was pulled for like Adventure Time regular show.
Got canceled.
Yeah, it did. And it is what it is. They got a final episode out, so it's fine.
I mean, every show. I mean,
All shows must come to an end.
No. There's getting canceled, and then you're just, it's the last season.
Then that's you
Okay.
had to create
There's
event
a
to your
very
story.
big difference in that.
I don't think it was like a show with like a huge running plot that like couldn't end whenever. Like,
They had to, in the final episode, just be like, alright, Chowder grew up. He's no longer an apprentice chef. He's a chef. And, yeah.
Is it about cooking?
Yeah.
Huh.
There's all different foods and stuff. There's,
And it's a cartoon.
yeah. Food, sports.
that just a Chowder and Flapjack have a very weird vibe to them.
They're both fantastic shows.
Okay, I'll have to look into that. I think I've looked into a couple of Steve's things. They weren't too bad. He did recently mention the Tekken anime, and it's very wet, so I'll give him credit for that.
I want Dan to watch New Girl. I think Dan's
The
one-
girl's very annoying. I wouldn't
You
be able to
probably
watch
would
it.
like that.
The
show,
main
yeah.
girl is extremely
Yeah, but
annoying.
like she's not. It's not like she's the main character, but like there's like 5 characters that are all like evenly the main character. I guess it's like named after her.
I've seen the preview. That show was after a show that I used to watch a lot. I'm trying to think what show it was. And it would always say up next on New Girl, and I would see the scenes of it, and I'm like, I can't
There's
stand
one
that
guy
show.
that looks and acts exactly like Dan.
Yeah, Schmidt.
Dan would like that guy.
Yeah, Dan would be the biggest Schmidt fan of all time. He's very funny.
Every time I see him, and I think of Dan.
Oh, that show I like.
What? Spit it out before.
Schitt's Creek. Fuck.
I tried to watch that. I didn't love it.
Real quick, can we just? I mean, no one brought up Stranger Things.
I've never seen it.
I only watched it like 2 months ago for the first time.
I haven't
Watched it
watched
all
the
way
new
through.
season yet. I'll do it right before Halloween. Steve and Dave hate Stranger Things randomly from what I've heard.
He's never watched it.
I
But
just
he
hate
still-
it.
The Sopranos.
Despite hate.
I've always
classic.
wanted to watch The Sopranos.
You've never watched The Sopranos.
No.
It's
Niko,
past our
holy
time.
shit!
I haven't watched it either.
You haven't watched Sopranos? You haven't?
I've been wanting to watch it.
Oh.
My grandpa has the whole
OMG.
thing on VHS.
Oh boy, the VHS.
I had.
Well,
Big
you didn't even
Brother.
put it on your list, so.
Huh?
Did you?
I really had a list of 10 here, but I had to try to chop it down.
Was Big Brother on there?
Yeah.
Wow.
The Brothers and Sisters. I don't expect anyone to know that show. What was a good classic show of mine?
Are we going honorable mentions right now?
If you wanted to, anyone have an honorable?
Trailer Park Boys, South Park, Beavis and Butthead. What else? Family Guy. Ah.
American Dad, SpongeBob, Fairly Odd
Some
Parents,
of those
Jimmy
good
Neutron,
humor ones.
Johnny Test.
Cartoons.
They didn't make my list, but those are honorable mentions.
Let me check my list, see what my next 5 would have been.
I'll even say Criminal Minds is an honorable
That's
mention.
on there. I forgot. That's
That's
what's
a damn
one.
show.
Until they got rid of Thomas Gibson, not interested.
Yeah, he kind of carried it.
And I tell you another show because I just brought up. It's a great show. Try watching it by yourself at night. Unsolved Mysteries. Great show. Has
That's
the
like-
scariest theme song in the beginning. It is a great show.
I don't really find those scary. They're mostly
And ironically, I get to notice that season 3 comes out tomorrow.
I've heard good things about the X-Files.
I don't watch that garbage.
Black Mirror, that's a
That's more
that's a
garbage.
deep,
watched just, like,
crazy show.
episodes.
I've seen
Other than
I've seen like
watched
3
them.
episodes.
That's one
of
that
Black
started to
Mirror.
go off the rails as well. They got like Miley Cyrus in episodes and stuff now.
Not really. I like that idea. Bringing
The
in
next
people.
the
This is
3 that I have on my
classic
list
Dan.
that I want to watch next, it was Yellowstone, Westworld, and Ozark. Those are the 3 I've
God,
seen.
Ozark!
No.
No! There's so many. See,
a
I didn't
classic
get time to.
Those are
Wow.
my next 3. I don't know which order I'm watching them, but those are my
And
next
the thing
3.
is, I was saying to myself, there's another Netflix show I like. I just couldn't think of it. House of Cards, Stranger Things, and it was Ozark.
Yeah.
What
I
about
think
Making a Murderer?
I didn't watch
That's my favorite documentary.
That was
That
a
is
good
a
story.
great show. I believe it. You should watch it.
documentary.
What about Joe Exotic?
No, I watched that, but not as good.
Dan Exotic.
I watched like half of the first episode and I stopped.
Have you watched
that
Making
was
a Murderer?
good COVID television.
I'm not like a documentary type.
It's not a documentary. Have you watched Making a Murder?
We had to watch
It
it in
was.
law class.
I
Did you
thought
watch
that
it?
was overrated.
Yeah,
The whole
Yeah.
thing.
But it was interesting.
Yes or no?
Yes, I have.
No. You know the question when I'm saying yes or no.
I don't think he did it.
I don't think he did it. Do you? What do you think?
I think he did it. The man's a freak, and then he pinned it on his cousin.
His cousin was also a freak.
Mike, have you
He's
seen
mental,
the
though.
evidence?
Yeah, he wasn't all there.
Neither of
No,
them.
I didn't watch all of it.
I did watch one documentary this summer, and it was like by the time I don't know if it came out earlier this year or late last year, and like just like a month ago, there was like a DNA test that they had to run it. They're like at the end of the documentary, it's like they're doing a DNA test. The evidence will be out like August 22, and I had to wait like 3 months after I watched it to see. And then the DNA test came out, and the guy was proven innocent. It was crazy.
Who? Avery?
No, it wasn't that.
No, he's still
it was
in
like a guy. He was like in jail for the longest in Illinois. He was like the longest tenured prisoner.
Ironically, this is the same state.
He was in jail for like 60 years for like murdering and raping like 3 women in the woods.
Wichita County.
And then like he's proven innocent. And he's like 80 now, and he got out of prison.
Well,
See,
so what's he
the
do
problem
now?
is you think he did it because you think what happened to him before is spoiling your thoughts of him. He was proven innocent the first one.
Hmm.
And because of that, you think he's
On a
guilty.
technicality, wasn't it?
Technicality, they proved there was another
Did
guy.
any of you watch the new Halloween yet?
Oh, I just watched it last night.
Wow.
I heard that was not that good.
That's overrated.
And
It sucks
I also
as well.
heard that Michael
No,
Myers
it's,
was like not even in it in the whole.
I'm not gonna.
beginning.
Do you want me to say things or not say things?
I'm just saying. I heard he wasn't in it for like the first half of the movie. Is that true?
accurate.
Yeah.
I'm not watching that trash.
Okay, I'm gonna say this without giving any spoilers, because I love all the Mike Myers movies.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as all the other ones. Yes, I can see where it's gonna get negative ratings, but they also tried to make it not like every other Halloween movie where it's just the same thing. Like it's just the same. Every Halloween movie has the same thing. Mike Myers shows up, he kills all the people.
That's what you want to watch when you watch a Mike
And
Myers
there's the battle at the end. They tried to make it different. It's a little interesting. It's a little weird. And it does have.
I did hear another thing that I won't say.
It does have some Mike Myers.
Are you not going to watch it? Actually,
I might at some point, but I don't really care that much.
Yeah, eventually.
Okay,
but I don't care about spoilers.
It was just like I just heard it like a review. Someone was doing a review on TikTok, and they're like, he has like a little like assistant or something. Like, what the fuck is that? That sounds so.
It's a big
stupid.
storyline.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's not.
Who is? I forget what the name is.
I will never watch this
Charlie
one.
or
It's
something.
not. No. It's not his assistant. It's not, that's the wrong character. It's like that, but it's not.
Okay.
It's not. He's not portrayed as his assistant.
Okay.
So that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I'm gonna watch.
It's It's interesting.
After watching the other one 14 times, I have to watch.
It's not like people are saying it's not bad because of graphics. It's not bad because of acting. It's not. People are saying it's bad because they don't like the way the storyline is. It's great action. There's a lot of shit that takes place. It's just they presented it a different way. I kind of liked it at the end. But
stupid
it's not at all my top 5 favorite Halloweens, but it's better than Kills.
Well, that's the worst movie ever.
That was the worst Halloween the one that came out last year. That was stupid AF.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty stupid.
Is Jet saying anything else in there?
Let's see.
Or did Johnny run off to go find his hair?
Johnny says, and I quote, George R. R. Martin hasn't put out the remaining books because everyone hated the show ending so much. Jet says, also let's make Bran the king because he has good stories. What the fuck does that even mean?
Quick shout out before we end the show. Johnny, this fool over here likes George Lopez and put George Lopez on the top 5.
It's a great
I should
show.
be escorting you out this door. I have gone years hating George Lopez, and I've gone with signs in here with George Lopez's head. Johnny knows I hate George Lopez. I can't stand it, and you have the galls to come here and put him on your top 5.
Yeah.
I'm appalled. Guy has one of the worst TV shows I've ever seen.
He has one of the worst late night shows.
That
He
as
also had a
well. I'm
late
not
night
even
show.
talking
That
about
was
late
bad.
night. That's it. I'm done.
The other George Lopez show that came out later was not good.
It's all bad. There's no good that comes out of anything George
original
Lopez
was
does. It's all bad.
Constance Marie, fantastic.
I think we got to do top 5 TV show theme songs.
Okay.
Bow.
I'm trying to find Schmidt scenes that remind me of Dan. All right. You cancel it
I
right
think
there,
we're good.
Turn it off.
I can do the outro from here.
Yeah, do the outro. So I want to find
Till the
some
next
Schmidt.
time.
Game of Thrones season 8. Watch it.
George Lopez,
Hate it.
adios.